Hello, 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 hello.
I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Hello. Greetings to all out there in internet land. My name is Pioneer, and this is I Am Sure Sports. And we are back, people. We are back. And we are back with a bang. All right, the NBA starts tonight. And we are back with another in our series around the NBA. All right, we have the guru himself with us today, people. The man, G-Star. Seeing?
Yes. Go.
Basketball guru. As I said, I am Pioneer. We're here and I am sure. I hope people out there, I hope you like the new settings and the backdrop. You know, I am sure sports is improving on the product as we go.
Ever evolve.
Definitely, without doubt. All right, G-Star will be here previewing the season that's about to unfold, my brethren. Interesting happenings in the off season. A lot of what was expected didn't happen. However, we had some other unexpected eventualities happening around the NBA. And we're going to start off with the most topical one that occurred recently, which is that bust up at the Warriors practice session between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. Well, I don't know if I would call it much of a bust up. It was more like a bust. Well, it's a busting up, but it was more like Draymond busting up Jordan Poole. And I say so. Give me your views on that, G-Star. Tell me how you viewed what happened.
For me,
yeah.
all right. let me bring it back a little bit because you hear a lot of people who say, boy, Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr and him punched Will Perdue, but the most famous one is Steve Kerr, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But that happened about 25 years ago. And if there was video of Michael Jordan punching Steve Kerr, we might have looked at Michael Jordan a little bit differently. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. You
So,
have a point, Bridges. I
so,
agree.
so, so people want to say because Michael Jordan did it, kind of makes it a little bit okay for Draymond. And they also want to say, a lot of people here say, boy, stuff like this happens all the time. Well, maybe they get into a fight or a little one punch throw, but Pioneer, you see, if John Poole had even just thrown a punch and it never connect,
Yeah,
then maybe he could have let it go. But the fact that he got punched the way how he did get punched, I can tell you this. As a man, it would be hard to let that go. Is it me? I
yeah.
personally, I can't speak for anybody else. Me personally, I would have want to fight Draymond every single day. Me personally. And then
Oh,
when we
yeah,
fight, you see, after we fight, then I'll be all right. Win or lose. You get me?
yeah.
But let's talk about the basketball part of it now, because remember, basketball might be the sport that psychology affects it the most. So meaning how you feel. You understand what I say?
Yeah,
Like
I get
for
it.
volleyball or for football, the psychology of a basketball player affects him a lot. Maybe golf too. Maybe people might say golf, right?
It
But
might have a lot to do with the fact that there's only five players on the court at the time. The closeness of play of the fans to the players, not just the whole arena, setting in the arena kind of give basketball a more of an intimate kind of vibe. So you'll think that the psychology and the mindset of a player might have, might be more greatly affected by, you know.
yeah, and I personally think that this is just my personal opinion that for basketball, I think basketball shows up a player's personality the most. Like how you are off of the court, on the court, I
Yeah.
think it shows up your personality more than any other sport. But anyway, aside from that, how do I think they're going to get along? I think that I can only guess. I think that they're going to be professional because at the end of the day, they have a championship on the line.
Hmm.
Um, I think the fact that Draymond has not gotten his contract
Hmm.
extension,
Hmm.
I think that is going to play a major factor in what's going on this season. I think there is going to be a ton of drama, right? Because of the contract and because of the punch, right? You see, they were talking about the KD thing. I think the KD thing is soft, because when we go on a basketball court, man tell man about their mother, and next week them on the same side and
Good.
everything, Chris, right? So when a
Well,
man calls a next man a female dog, to me that's no big deal, even though they're blown up into the media. But a punch is way over the line. And me as a baller, I love Draymond Green as a baller. And I'm very disappointed in Draymond Green because for me, it was a bully tactic. You see what I said?
mhm.
He walked over to Jordan Poole, going to his face, right? And as a man, or even as a woman, whatever, you're going to push the person off to get them out of your face.
Mhm.
So it looked like Draymond was looking for a reason to punch him, right? So at the end of the day, though, I think there's going to be a ton of drama on the Warriors, but I think that um, they'll still put basketball first. And for me, I will still have the Warriors as the favorites to win the NBA
How
championship.
you think the organization dealt with it, and how you think if are you in agreement as to how they dealt with it, or do you
All right,
think they
excellent question. Excellent
should have
question.
dealt with it in a different way?
And I forgot to mention that. So that's why I say it's a great question. When KD got called the female dog, they suspended him, Draymond Green, for 1 game.
Yeah.
Now, a punch to the face is way more severe than calling somebody a female dog.
Hmm.
Draymond Green didn't get suspended, none at all. I thought it should have at least been 5 games. So my point is, how can you suspend Draymond Green for calling KD this? But the man punched Jordan Poole and he gets nothing.
Would,
I
would
thought
it,
that was
do you think that it is saying that the Warriors organization placed way more weight or more, what's the word I'm searching for? More weight, or they were more significantly affected by Draymond's action towards KD than they are to what he did to Paul. Meaning, all right, well, and you probably can think of it this way. KD was in a situation where he could opt in or opt out.
he might
Paul,
leave.
yeah, Paul now is kind of, the Warriors has his birthright. Them can sign him to an extension, which they have done, and obviously, the risk of him leaving the organization because of this is way less than KD. So to appease KD, maybe the Warriors started prudent enough to take the steps that they did. But in this case, them feel like them can deal with it more as an internal
No, but
issue.
fair enough. But then we're not working with principle. There's a principle I'm working with still, You understand? I'm working with the principle of the matter. One co-worker shouldn't punch a next co-worker and nothing comes out of it. If them fight, then I so. You understand? If them fight, but not the manner in what happened. That is just my opinion.
A
What's
lot
your
of persons
opinion?
consider it a sucker punch of sort. So
Well, I don't think it's a sucker punch. I don't think it's a sucker punch because once you push somebody,
yeah,
you
you
have
must
to expect return.
yeah. Well, a sucker punch in the sense that the man
It was
never,
unnecessary.
well, in that case. But
I would call it a sucker
for me personally, I think Draymond has built a reputation for doing this kind of thing. How it will affect Jordan Poole mentally, as you mentioned earlier, and how it will affect his play and his whole demeanor going through the season. That will be left to him. Warriors are a veteran, for me, it's a veteran organization, veteran ball club, a lot of veteran players, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Iguodala is back. They have other people like Jermichael Green, who's a vet in himself. People like Looney, been in the league a while. So I think these guys are vets. Draymond has built up this hot-headed reputation. I think somewhere in the back, them will talk it over. I think everybody has agreed that it was an unnecessary move. Everybody has agreed that Draymond was wrong in what he did. He has accepted, for me, he has accepted his culpability. He must accept him blame. He has apologized. And I've made several comments on what has happened. We saw him missing the first couple of preseason games, and then we saw him coming back, playing decently, seeing them building a bit of team chemistry. So it is my hope. Warriors is my team. It is my hope that as the season progresses, this will go further and further into the review, and it will become less of an issue. Obviously, teams will try to exploit it by probably playing
It
on.
won't.
No, I mean, because you're playing against Poole, you have guys who are got most time. Try to choke him game by mentioning it throughout the season. How he will react to that and how that will impact him, is left to be seen. And let's see how it affects him going forward. But to move from that, G-Star, a lot of the big news at the early part of the postseason, we could consider the preseason in this case. But it was the postseason of last season, but the preseason for this one was the request by Kevin Durant about wanting to be traded from the Brooklyn Nets. That didn't happen. We heard all off season. We heard rumors about KD being traded, Kyrie being traded, who they were going to be traded to. None of that happened. Now the Nets are still with their core. KD's there, Kyrie's there. Now we're gonna see it being played out with Ben Simmons being a part of the team. We saw him in a couple of preseason games. Tell me what you think of the fortunes of this Nets team, G-Star. What do you think is the mental state of those two players? And tell me how you see them going through the season and how far could this Nets team go and how much of a threat could they be to the NBA title?
Well, they're a super threat. For me, talent-wise, I think they're probably the most talented team in the East. That them and the Boston Celtics with the addition of Malcolm Brogdon.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, Pioneer, that is slowing down the Brooklyn Nets is,
The
come
coach.
on, you know who I'm gonna say. Yeah, Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. Let me give an example. Let me give
Yeah.
an example. The coach, he's playing the U called Nicholas Claxton at center,
Yeah.
KD, Ben Simmons, Royce O'Neal, Kyrie Irving. That's the starting lineup. So they're playing big, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'll play that whole lineup throughout the year. And when come playoff time, you know what he'll do? He'll put Ben Simmons at center. And you're wondering, so why didn't you have that? Why didn't you have that as your lineup throughout the whole season? You see what I said? So I'm saying Steve Nash is the modest coach I've ever come across in any sport. Why? Because usually coaches do things for a reason. You cannot try to figure out what Steve Nash is doing. You see what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Nash, coaches are supposed to be able to juggle the lineup. The Brooklyn Nets have an NBA team and they don't run any plays. When I was playing high school basketball, we had about 10 plays, maybe no, maybe not so much. Maybe about 5 or 6 plays. But how can you have an NBA team and you don't have any plays? That's one thing. That's the next thing. And then a player like Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, Cam Thomas, all these players were playing throughout the season. And in the playoffs, do you know who it hurt me still and it's still hurting
Yes,
me?
Blair
Do you
Griffin has
know?
Blake Griffin left in the half season though. Is that with them
Yeah,
now?
he went to Boston. But I'm
What,
talking in the
what do you
playoffs.
before stick up in G-Star? What do you think about the roster now? They added a couple of interesting pieces to me. All right. So Joe Harris is
Which
back.
one? To the Nets?
Yeah, man.
I
Must have
love
added
I
they
love
added
them. TJ Warren.
Rice
TJ
O'Neal,
Warren.
TJ
TJ Warren
Warren,
was a huge
and they
pickup.
and they also added Markieff Morris.
Yes, okay. Mark
Yeah,
is kind of washed right now. He's kind of
well,
washed.
what do you think about Rice O'Neal?
It's because TJ Warren, people have him as a bubble bully, you know. 'Cause remember, he was like he was crazy in the bubble, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love the Brooklyn Nets roster, my boss. The only thing for me that will slow them down is the coach. Now you're talking about the psychology. Let me just talk about that briefly. KD wanted to be traded, right? And rewind a little bit. I heard Draymond Green was on the shop, right? And he said that he invited KD to his wedding, right? And he said KD was a no-show.
Mm-hmm.
Now I look at things a little bit different, you know, because for me, obviously he could have other reasons, but it seemed like KD is not comfortable in his skin right now, my boss. You understand what I'm saying?
With everything that was happening with his personal situation with the Nets, you think that might have affected him, not attending Draymond's wedding?
Yeah, and big man thing, just offend the wedding, bro. Like if people get mustard you, you're gonna get mustard just so the thing settled up. You understand? To me, KD's about to be bigger than that. And then no, the next thing now is I heard him talking about that, oh, the team they didn't want to give me up, so um you know, they just don't want to give me away. You know, I'm worth too much. Well, here's the thing. What KD realized is, and I don't like it, is that he don't have no power. The Nets show him that them baby him up. You understand? Because usually when star trade players want to be traded, you know, they get traded. But when you have 4 years left on your contract, which he shouldn't have signed, you're gonna get babied, right? He wanted Steve Nash gone. He wanted the general manager gone. They're still there. So all of these things are dynamics, you know. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, KD, him kind of lose some stripes in terms of off of the court.
All right,
On the
so
court, we know who he is.
all right, so let's stick to the basketball side of it now, G-Star. How do you see the dynamics playing on? All right, so all right, it might be a little bit of a mental thing, but you know how it is when ballers are on the court. When it comes down to game time, ballers are gonna ball.
All
Um,
right, game time now.
all right,
They're
so
gonna be incredible.
with
They're gonna be incredible.
the addition of Ben Simmons,
I love it.
Kyrie, KD, people like Seth Curry still there. You talk about Claxton, talking about people like Patty Mills, TJ Warren, who we know is a baller. Cam Thomas, who made an impact last year. Joe Harris is back. But I spoke
Well, I
about.
don't think he's back yet because I haven't seen him in the preseason.
But
I didn't see him.
I noticed the
But
injuries.
he will be back.
I noticed
He
the
will be
teams.
back.
I noticed the teams, and we'll get to that. The teams that have players coming back from injury, I noticed they haven't exposed them in the preseason. Namely, Jamal Murray and Denver. We haven't seen anything from Kawhi for the Clippers. I know, so I'm figuring that teams probably want to, bring these players back, just inch them back into action.
Okay.
So that could be the situation. Joe Harris, I heard reports of him being back in training. So let's see how that. Do you think that Nets are a legitimate threat, or they are the favorites for the Eastern?
All right. Here's why I wouldn't put them at the favorite. For me, I would put the Boston Celtics as the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I know everything that went on with Ime Udoka.
I was going to get to that. We'll get to that. That's the next topic we are discussing.
Yeah. So the Boston Celtics, I think they're going to, just talent-wise alone, and the fact that they went to the finals last year, and they've kind of went through the fire. So usually when you go through the fire, even though they didn't come out to the fire, but usually when you go into the fire, you come out stronger by going to the finals, right? So, go on deal with the pioneer. I soon come back. You talk it out. I soon come.
No problem. All right. So people, one of the other things that happened in the off season, that situation, and unless you were under a rock or you're not a person who follows sport, was that situation with the Boston coach, Ime Udoka, who was suspended for the entirety of the 2022-23 season for having an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. All right, as to how that will affect the team going forward, he was replaced by an interim coach. How will that affect the mindset of their roster? They have retained the core of their team. Jason Tatum is back. Jaylen Brown is back with the team. People like Robert Williams and Marcus Smart is back. People like Al Horford and Grant Williams are back. Derek White is back. Peyton Pritchard is back. So the core of their team people are back. They have also made some interesting additions to their squad. Blake Griffin is now a part of the Boston Celtics roster. They have also added Malcolm Brogdon, who for me is a very, very, very good point guard. Interesting addition for me, and that should all go well. Another interesting pickup for me is the addition of Danilo Gallinari, who was at the Atlanta Hawks for a couple of seasons. Very good player, very good outside shooter. When he gets hot, very hot. So I think this Boston Celtics team, as G-Star said, on the back of making the finals last year, and with these new additions, should be a credible threat for the title for me. How will they be affected by what occurred with the coach is left to be seen. But for me, it should be an interesting season for the Boston Celtics. Well, welcome Bridging National, who's joining us on the stream. Welcome Forward National, who's joining us via audio. See, also want to say bless up to One Dan MUFC 45. Welcome, Bridging. Good to have you in the stream with us. National, G-Star and I was discussing the Draymond Green situation, and you and I have had a few private conversations, and I know you are itching. So I'll take a step back and allow you to weigh in, saying and give your take on this Draymond Green situation, this punching of Jordan Poole, and tell me your seat, Bridging, and tell me how you think it will affect the Warriors organization going forward. Well, I'll also say big up to Stalblo 14. Big up Stalbo. Saying good for you to join us, my brethren. While the rest of the man them I hide them face. No man, the man them so you soon see them. G Star just take a temporary leave. National is out on business, so you might join us via audio. National. Give me your views on my brethren and this whole German Green situation.
Oh boy. If the organization can manage to keep the team together, and let me say the core of the team together, because I believe Poole has played a very integral part last season, and him gonna be one of them player the way
Mhm.
I'm gonna be a force to be reckoned with for the team. To me, it gonna be a task, brethren. That something when we see the man get. The question when me really want to ask, and what me really want to know is, what could I really cause Draymond Green as a senior player, yeah, senior season player, for act in such a manner, you know? And that is when Draymond Green is known to cause some upstir within the camp for quite a while now, you know. Yeah, and I think if I was a part of that Golden State committee board, I would have start looking at being that him getting on in age too. I'd have start looking at how we can even get
Move away from
move
Draymond.
him, yeah man, move him up, man,
But
because
National, would you agree with me when I say if I said as divisive, not divisive, because Draymond is not really a divisive force, but as many destabilizing moments as he have had in the Warriors locker room or on court or off court incident. He has also been a stabilizing force. He has also shown his worth and his value to the organization. You'd agree with me on that, yes or no?
no, I can agree with that. But guess what? In the last couple of years, too much of these things have been happening up, and he's a causative factor as to why they're happening. And then again, truth be told, he's not that same force to be reckoned with what he was yesteryear. And I think
Um,
going for
yeah,
eh?
yeah, you can agree or disagree on that. We saw what happened at the late in the season last year when he was out for a couple of a number of games where the Warriors struggled without him at the end of the regular season last year,
But
even
the
though he was
Warriors
in the court.
but the Warriors used to struggle without him even before that. We see what happened at the famous 3-1 game
Comeback.
where Golden State was up and
Mm-hmm.
lost that game when he was out, and when he was out of the two consecutive games, and all the momentum shift, and what happened when he was out. That's a known thing for him. But now, if you look at Draymond Green back then when he was Char Iron to Draymond Green right now, and now he might pick up this baggage at this thing where the club really don't need. I mean, look here, it's like the man knock out the man in the middle and catch him back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Pioneer, it got difficult for a man get a punch like that, and it gone viral.
So what
And to
I'm
come back
national.
and play for a team wholeheartedly and all of them things. And the psychological thing about it, remember, so you have the psyche part, you know. Draymond Green is there, he's there, him get the thumb, everybody see it. No man, me personally not see it at work still.
All right. So
See,
basically,
I'm gonna think it wise or else if you have both of them there, and if me I go move on, I'd try start looking for a healthy replacement for Draymond Green rather than an upcoming pool.
all right. Let me say this. So in a your estimation, he's becoming a bit of a liability to the organization right now. You are saying that you think it's time for the Warriors start thinking about moving away from Draymond right now.
Not really. All right, maybe he won't be a liability right now, you know, but sooner rather than later. Dan Poole would be any form of a liability anytime soon. So if I am looking forward to get rid of one and being with that, the common denominator with these type of behavior, whether it be some harsh words being said that, you know, get the disrupt the chemistry on the floor, the locker room, or a punch or two or something, the common denominator is always Draymond Green, and being that he's the one that going almost to the tail end of career. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it, and sooner or later, I'm going to have to start up another Draymond Green anyways. So to have the core and the unity of the team and all of them things there. And boy, I wish we could have hear like some of the players them like in the organization, the big players them come out and say, boy, we condemn this and this is because
Yeah,
it
but
gone viral and from it gone viral, we don't think about it.
People like Steph, I've heard Steph and I've heard Iguodala come out and say what happened was totally unnecessary and it wasn't warranted. As a teammate, you know, you're probably not going to say too much of a harsh word in the public domain.
Yeah.
As a teammate, you'd probably rather them having do that privately
behind doors
in the locker room than putting something out in the media. We know how social media is nowadays. Anything that is said, people add to it, people dissect it, people inject things in it, and that could disrupt team chemistry. I feel an incident like that would be best dealt with by the senior players and the coaching staff and even the management. Be dealt with behind the scenes, where any harsh words that needed to be said, anything. For example, if you are the manager of the team, for example, or the coach, you're a Steve Kerr. If you wanted to say, boy, Draymond, this you're up on your last incident, you would rather to be saying that privately than to be saying that out in the public. I'm going to quote something here. Let me see. One done, MUFC 45 is saying. He's saying, if you move Green, the Warriors would not have that dog in your team anymore. And that would be a major problem. I'm kind of tend to agree with that. And in addition to just that force that he is, that, that dog, to use a choice of a word being used by Wandan FC, that his defensive abilities and that linchpin of a player that he is on the court for the Warriors. I can't see them replacing him. We have seen it's and bits and pieces of people like Iggy's at the back end of his career now. You have people like Looney who will chip in a little bit here and there to give that pick and roll presence. But you have to admit that Draymond is that linchpin, that pick and roll that he plays with Steph, just as a floor general, as a floor organizer, as that voice that directs traffic for the Warriors. And if that were to be taken out of the team right now, national, I think that could be an issue as to whether they look to move away from him in the next season or in the next 2 seasons is left to be seen. He's up for a contract extension. We have heard rumors about him going to the Lakers. We have, you know how the NBA rumor mill works. We have heard varying rumors about the team moving off Draymond. But all of that will be decided, sometime in the future. But as to this season, I think for me, National, the key thing, and you spoke to it, the key thing for me will be how this affects Jordan Poole psychologically. He's a young player. We know how banter is and, word throwing is in the NBA, especially when you're going visiting arenas. You'll have fans who are going to, be yelling out stuff. You're going to have players who are going to try to capitalize on it to get him off him game. So as to how we will deal with that psychologically, I think that will affect his fortunes and the Warriors' fortunes. If he can handle that, if he can move past that, then they can build back that in the team. Not in agreement with Draymond and his action in a way. Everybody know that Draymond is possibly one of my favorite players in the league. I too condemn what was done. But Draymond is known to be a bit of an hothead. I think he's a liability national in terms of these actions. I think he makes up for that with the factors I just mentioned previously.
Pioneer.
Yeah, National.
If I may interject.
Yeah.
All right. I am not in that locker room. But you see the little when you see each time when we look in the locker room or even on the bench, Draymond Green mannerism is as if there is absolutely nobody in the locker room to talk to Draymond Green.
No, man.
Draymond Green is like him is a big bully or a
he's a senior presence in the team, but
but not only him, because they have other senior players too. And we just don't see nobody else step up to Draymond Green. Whenever Draymond Green are operating with him antics.
As I said that, as I say, National, that might be happening, but you're not gonna see it in you're not gonna see that happening in terms of in a public way. So people like Andre Iguodala will pull Draymond aside and check him, saying, and Steph Curry in his way will and Klay Thompson, they will deal with Draymond, but you know them not gonna deal with it in a public way. You're not gonna see that happening on the bench. You're not gonna see that being reflected while the game is on.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Don't you think them know Draymond Green?
Yeah, man. They
All right, good.
They do.
You see, when I look at the video, you see the mere fact that Mr. Draymond Green and moved to the youth, there was a man a walk along with Draymond Green like him a try to get in between Draymond Green and Poole before. It tells me that they knew that Draymond Green is a man with do them thing there, but yet them still couldn't prevent it from happening.
All right, National. I want to take the opportunity to welcome Brethren Chris Lynch to the stream. Chris, welcome forward, my brethren. And Chris too will be joining us via audio. So you know, also welcome Larry James to the stream. Larry James is saying that he's talking about the rookie Benedict Mathurin, who plays for the Indiana Pacers, who was having a really nice off season. The proof of the pudding for me though, Larry James is what he will do in the regular season. Let's see how he fares. It's good to see the rookies putting their hands up. Manu FC, where you were talking earlier about the coaching situation. Well, Joe, for those who are not informed, Joe Mazzulla has stepped in for the year to coach Boston Celtics. He'll be replacing Ome Udoka, as I was mentioned, who has been suspended for the year. One Dan Manu FC is saying, boy, he is not too confident in that move by the Boston Celtics to have Joe Mazzulla coaching the team. Chris, I'm going to allow you to kind of weigh in on this and the topical discussion that they have been having. I'm going to call it a bust up or that punch by Draymond Green and Jordan. Give me your views on it, brother.
Yeah, man, it was a
Chris.
Yeah, man, it was a sad situation. It's a situation.
Having a little audio issue on your end. Chris, you're not coming through too clear. There are a few audio issues. Say something again. Let me see if you come through clear. All right. So Chris has opted out for the minute. Yeah, let me go back to what I was saying to Wandan MUFC. I don't know, Joe Mazzulla, decent coach. Let's see. I think bigger than the coach though. Wandan MUFC is gonna be just the players. How Jason Tatum reacts to going to the finals last year, and a lot of people would consider him to have underachieved or underperformed in the finals against Golden State. How a Jaylen Brown, based on his final experience last year, will take that experience and be a little bit more mature this season. How people like Marcus Smart and Derek White just going to the finals last year, how that will affect them, how they will build on these experiences, and the hunger and the desire they'll have to want to take that next step. Having going to the top of the mountain, having been to the door of the kitchen, and not ultimately having that grand feast and being able to participate as a champions. How that taste of that from last year, how they will carry that forward into this season, and fuel their desire to lift the ultimate prize. I think a lot will depend on that, and let's see how Joe Mazzulla's coaching acumen and his coaching skills will assist the team to propel to the heights they want to get to. G-Star is back with us, people. G-Star, let me ask you, we were going to discuss that earlier, as I said. How you see Joe Mazzulla stepping into the coaching role at the Boston Celtics? How you think that will affect the fortunes of this team? What do you know of him as a coach, and how do you see it going forward?
Honestly, I've never heard him before he got the job, to tell the truth. So, but just from a random person, I think he's stepping into a little bit of heat. Because expectations breed war, disappointment, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got to the finals last year, and they're expected to go far this year because of the things I mentioned before. Why I have them as the number one seed, right? Or the top team, the team to beat in the East. Um, so I haven't seen him, so I can't really talk about what I don't know. But at the end of the day, though, I think the Boston Celtics should and would have big expectations.
All right, all right. So let's look at we're gonna look at the other teams. G Star, I'm gonna ask you for your give me your top five teams in the East. Give me your top five, and it's early in the season, people. And for me personally, I think a lot of the fortunes will be dependent on um the. Let me allow you to go first, G Star. In terms of give me your top five. I won't even go to eight. I'll say give me your top five teams coming out of the East, and give me your top
Yeah.
five teams coming out of the West, and give me your
Hmm.
reasons for your selections. And
All right. I would.
for those in the stream, I ask you to do the same. Give me your top five teams out of the East and top five teams out of the West.
All right. Top five teams in the West. I'll go the Clippers. Not the Clippers. Sorry. I'll go the Warriors.
First,
Um, as the best team. The team that is getting a lot of traction though is the Clippers. A lot of people are talking about the Clippers, as they should. Kawhi is coming back. John Wall, and I think a lot of people have been sleeping on John Wall, right? And right now he has a lot to prove. He hasn't played basketball in 2 seasons, one. And the next thing is people are writing him off too. And then for me, I think John Wall has always been a talented basketball player, right? So that's two. I think that the Memphis Grizzlies, they were in the mix last season. I think they'll continue to be in the mix this season. That's three. Um, hmm. I don't have Phoenix. I have Phoenix dropping out. Let me give you a surprise. I think the New Orleans Hornets. I think the New Orleans Hornet, Brandon Ingram is a baller. Big baller.
Zion,
Um,
Zion should be back.
and Zion, exactly. Zion should be back. CJ. They've had some other people like like Jackson Hayes. Um, oh gosh, they had the rookie from last year. I can't remember his name right now, but he's about a 6'8", 3-and-D player. Can't remember his name right at the moment. Excellent player. So I'd have the Hornets. I don't know. I know the Dallas Mavericks went to the Western Conference Finals last year, but I'm not a big believer in them. Just talent wise,
All right.
right?
So let me recap what you said. So you have the Warriors, you have the
Yeah,
Grizzlies, you have the Clippers, and you said you have
the Hornets. Give me some
Hornets.
other teams in the West. I don't have Dallas in there. I don't have Phoenix in there.
What you think about
The
Denver?
Nuggets.
What you think about Denver?
The Nuggets.
Oh, so you
Yeah,
have Denver.
yeah. So Michael Porter coming back, Jamal Murray coming back. Um, yeah, I like that. I like those cast of characters. Obviously, you know, first year back from injury is usually like a C year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't come back 100% from ACL injuries and everything there. So for my boy there, Jamal Murray. But I think they'll be in the top five because, Jokic, MVP. I don't think he'll be MVP again this season, but he's going to be a perennial MVP candidate. And then getting Michael Porter back and Jamal Murray,
We
and then
saw
my boy
Michael.
there from Orlando,
We saw
Dunker
Michael.
Youth.
We saw Michael Porter in the preseason. We haven't seen Murray yet. I think they'll be easing Murray back into the season. Don't think they're in a rush to bring him back. I think they want
I
to.
see him banging some shots.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. We have seen
The
Kawhi.
shot.
I don't know if you saw the preseason game with
Kawhi?
yeah, with Kawhi.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
man. Kawhi played a preseason game.
Honestly, I haven't watched
And
any. I haven't watched
John
any
Wall,
preseason games.
John Wall played in that game. They played the Timberwolves. John Wall actually had 20 points in that game. And we welcome the man who now calls himself LeBron. See, the man himself. Big up,
Good.
welcome forward, my virgin.
Oh,
So
big up yourself. Big up
I know you
yourself.
wouldn't miss out on the
Represent.
opportunity to come say your piece. But I'm going to allow you for kind of, comment on a couple of the topical discussions. But G
Sure.
Star, give me a quickly G
Yeah, the
Star,
East now.
top 5 in the East. Make a proceed quick.
Yeah, the East is probably a little more clear, but we'll see. Boston Celtics,
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee Bucks,
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn Nets,
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia 76ers,
Mm-hmm.
and I would love to say my Toronto Raptors, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna put the Cleveland Cavaliers in there.
All right. All right.
Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and I'm telling you this right now, big baller who I think will be the breakout player of the year
Mm-hmm.
is Evan Mobley.
All right.
Big baller that.
I've had a great good season last year, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him doing a few things. Kems. All
Yes,
right. Well,
sir.
now I'll allow you for waiting. And we were having some topical discussions about the Draymond Green. I don't know if you were watching. Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situation. We were also looking at the fortunes of how the coaching change will affect the Boston Celtics going forward. But I'm going to ask you the same question I'm just asked G Star. Give me your top 5 coming into the season. By the way, people, the season starts tonight. We have 2 games on tonight. We have the Golden State Warriors hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. And we're also going to be having the Boston Celtics hosting the Philadelphia 76ers. Those 2 games will start the season tonight. So, Kems, give me your top 5 teams projecting coming out of the West, top 5 coming out of the East, and then we'll ask, for weighing on, those 2 topical discussions we were having earlier.
Top 5 in order.
No, man, necessary. Just give me the 5 teams you fancy.
The 5 teams.
No particular.
The Clippers, the Suns, the Mavericks, the Warriors,
Okay, but I wonder if you're not
and
going to
by,
respect the defending champions.
and by default the Lakers, of course. But
Okay, all right. You're not going to leave out the
yeah,
Lakers. Yeah.
those are my top 5.
Out East, tell me what you see.
For the East, I have the Bucks, the Celtics, the Heat, the Nets, and that's if Kyrie ended up on him BS again like last season.
Yeah.
But he seems a little bit more focused. The Nets and I know may I forget one team. Actually, I like so much teams. I like the Hawks up in there.
What about the Cavs? Considering
Donovan Mitchell plays no defense. You have to play defense in this league, boss. I know the NFL where just offense. You have to play defense in this league. I'm going to go with the man. Damn, that's tough. May I go with the Cavaliers. May I go with the Cavs? Because the Hawks are playing the defense, so I'm going with the Cavs.
All right. So we ain't on I'm on Demo J beat, so you like Jamorant, leaving all the Grizzlies, Bridget.
Yeah, well, Jamorant can get, again, this is my this is my 5 at the start of the season. Probably by the middle of the season is a total new 5. Who knows? But so with the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole thing, obviously, again, I think with this new woke day and age, the woke media, I believe is much to do about nothing. I believe they're making it more than what it really is. Obviously, we know that Draymond Green was wrong. He was wrong for what he did. Because obviously Jordan Poole pushed him and he could have pushed by Jordan Poole. But to me, and this is just me guessing because I don't know, I'm not in the Warriors organization, but it looked like a long time Draymond want to do something to Poole. That is just what it looked like to me. Like, that's something where him is like a vengeance him against the youth for whatever reason, and this was the opportune time to do it, right? Because again, if it was Steph, if it was Clay, I don't think that's how he would have reacted, right?
Definitely not.
So whatever it was with Poole, obviously, he apologized and Poole said, but again, the fact that there's video evidence, this thing, I know the internet still. If Poole ever try going like him bad against another team, then remind him, say, hey, as Jamaican to that say, don't remember call Draymond fear. So it's something that's always going to be, attached to him. But again, Steve, remember, Steve Kerr still have to talk about Michael Jordan thumping them.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's years ago. And again,
Fact
with
that,
this
yeah,
new,
fact that, as I said, still, the fact that there was no video evidence of that, then
yeah,
the impact is a little bit easier for dealing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then now you have video evidence, and when Twitter and TikTok and all those things ready for troll, it's just something that, but again, these are teammates, and I think winning solves everything, right? So if they go and they win again, all will be well. If they start losing now and Draymond not playing well or Poole not playing well, then you're going to hear the whispers. The media going to continue to ask Draymond, hey, are you going to opt in? Are you going to opt out? What's going to happen with the contract? All of them kind of stuff. Hey, Poole get a contract, Wiggins get a contract, Clay have a contract, Steph have a contract, you don't have a contract. What are you thinking? So those are good things, will come about. But again, I think Draymond was wrong. In terms of the suspension or not suspending him, I think that's an internal thing. I can't really speak to that.
All right. The Boston Celtics situation with the coaching change. Joe Mazzulla stepping in for Ome Udoka, being suspended for the year for that infamous issue, affair.
Yep.
Tell me how you think that. Give me your views on that, and tell me how you think that could affect or will affect the fortunes of the Boston Celtics through this season.
Again, there's a lot of rumors going around about that. I don't know the exact evidence of what happened. All I know, it was quote unquote consensual, right? But what I will say is that, again, these things have happened a lot, but I've never seen an organization went out on the edge and speak about a coach in the manner how they spoke about him. They spoke about him like he was not a part of the Celtics organization, and it's like, nobody was even trying to pick up for him because, again, I believe they could have suspended him without us knowing what happened. You understand me? Hey, this is a suspension because, violating team rules, and leave it at that. But it looked like there was someone within the organization that was determined to let it get out, to put some stain on his name, to ensure that, hey, even if he gets fired or leave the organization, it will be very difficult for him to get a job. As a black man, pioneer in America, I'll tell you, whatever you hear out there is true. And one of the most difficult things in order to climb the ladder, right? You have to deal with so much. So again, for your man, first year head coach, go there and make it to the finals, he was in line to get paid. No, whatever I'm getting, really, I forgot to take it. You understand
All
what
right.
I'm saying?
Since I got there, Kems, may I ask, how do you think? So, for example, because it's unprecedented for a man get suspended for an entire season, 6 games, 20 games, we would have understood it. For a man to be suspended for the entirety of a season. All right. So we a lot of us are assuming, and I am one such person, that his time with the Boston Celtics are done. I can't see him coming back after that. Even if the Boston Celtics were to have the worst season ever, and they were if they were him to be knocked out not make the playoff this year, and they were to move away from Joe Mazzulla, I can't see Udoka moving back into that. All right. How do you think him having taken as a first-time coach, taking his team to the finals last year, how do you see this affecting his fortune, his coaching fortunes in his future? You see him getting another job? Do you see him? You see another team hiring him?
So let's take a look at this. We can just draw one parallel. Look at Mark Jackson, right? Mark Jackson, a lot of us can admit that Mark Jackson is a damn good coach. And even though he didn't win a championship with the Warriors, I believe the championship DNA, he instilled that in the Warriors.
Definitely.
And then Kerr just propelled that, right? Mark Jackson cannot get a job. For some reason, the man can't get a job. The man was up for the Sacramento Kings job, and then give it to freaking Cavaliers pass coach. I don't even remember his name. That man can't coach a fly, right? Again, Luke Walton, them man they get job over Mark Jackson. So I think that's definitely a black ball. When you talk about
political camps, he said some things about certain communities and everything there.
Yeah, but you see, it's kind of ironic, one man get chided for being morally correct, and then one man get suspended for being for immorality.
Exactly.
So it's that thing. Well, welcome Chris Lynch to the stream. Welcome forward, Chris. Chris.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Clear as crystal, my brother. Give that.
Man, big up Kems on G-Star.
Up, Chris. So I'm gonna take a look at it, and I'm looking at this Boston Celtics head coach, and I'm saying, damn, the man take this team to the finals first year. I'm looking. I totally agree with you, Pioneer. I don't think we will ever see him coaching this Boston team ever again.
The NBA finals.
Huh?
He was 2-1 up in the NBA Finals.
Exactly. I don't think we'll ever see him coach Boston again. Honestly, as a head coach, I don't see it. Probably an assistant, but I don't see him being a head coach again in the league because I believe that the Boston Celtics have stained his name so bad. Remember, you even hear people coming and talking, oh, you guys don't want to hear the full story. If you guys hear the full story, then you will understand. So they're insinuating that there is more to the story. So we only let out a piece, but there's still no one have came out and say, hey, boy, this man is a good man. Not one person. Probably only Stephen A. Smith. I've only said, well, but again, everyone know that he's wrong. He's in there with Nia Lang or whatever she named and whatever he did, but it was totally consensual. But again, for an organization to go out on a limb and talk about this man, how they spoke about him, I refuse to believe that this man can get a job with the Celtics.
It's almost like you feel like he did something like some child molestation or some. G-Star, you agree with Kems about Adoka not coaching again in the league for right now?
No, I think you'll coach again in the league, just not at the Boston Celtics, because something would have to come out further to stay in his career more. You know what I'm saying? Because what we have so far, it was 2 consenting adults. So for me, that's not the worst thing in the world. You understand what I'm saying? People make mistakes.
But G-Star, remember, individuals, and even Stephen A. Smith alluded to it, individuals within the NBA circles know more than what we know. So, for example, other owners, other GMs, all those other persons know way more information than what we know. And if what we know, exactly. And like, and for example, what we know, if we are saying that he's not going to coach with the Celtics again, what do you think will happen with what the information or all those other people have? I think it's unfair to him, but hey, again,
it could that could just be guess. Hold on, no. For me, that could just be guess, because you know who else said him have the inside track? Kendrick Perkins. I remember Kendrick Perkins is a Boston Celtics man,
Let's hope the fullness will come out and we'll be able to, because we can't speak in ignorance. Because some people view certain things in a far greater light than others. What as they say, as Frank said, what is joke to you is dead to me. So something might come out that we'll consider trivial, while some other persons might consider it to be the most serious kind. Kems, we're not gonna make a dip on the stream and get her with not talking about your Lakers and the roster you have, but hold on, stick up it. I'm gonna bring in Chris. I'm gonna give Chris a chance. Chris, a couple of things I discussed. First, we asked you for your top 5 selections, my brethren, from out of the East, out of the West, based upon everything that you saw in the offseason, all the teams that have added pieces, all the teams that have players coming back from injury. Give me your top 5 teams you see from out East, out West, and then the two topical things that we are discussing. Kems is Chris Lynch is we're discussing the Udoka situation and him being replaced by Joe Mazzola, and we're discussing the Draymond Green and Jordan Poole bust up or Draymond busting up Jordan Poole. Over I want to put. Give me your views, Chris. Chris, you there? Hold on, let me see. I'll have Chris. I have Chris on 2 different. Chris.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear you, man. Loud and clear.
Yeah, I could touch the email, because it's a very unfortunate situation. It's just that Pioneer, me I read from the situation as somebody who would have come across a lot of those situations. It's kind of easy for read, that obviously it looked like the man, it looked like them didn't make it slide, but he may look like he put himself in a hot water after them and make the relationship slide. Okay. It seems like them know about the relationship and nothing was going to become of it, but he may did something and that are the problem basically. So it seems me I read the situation and it seemed that way. Yeah, Ken.
No, Christian, I think you're reading it kind of wrong, Christian. The reason being, right? Some of the facts that come out of the case is that they questioned him. They asked him about the relationship, even before anything sexual. They asked him about the relationship with the young lady, and he lied initially. And then after he lied, then he came forward and then he admitted it when they presented him with information. So I don't think that they would ever make it slide because, again, some other things come out where rumors and so. But the fact of the matter is,
timelines would be interesting though in this situation. It would be like, when was this discovered? Is it something that they discovered early in the season? You know, I say all of this just came out in the half season. So timelines would be interesting, and this we know exactly.
So I guess me have to clear it up. Now that Kems, that's why it's good that when other people on the thing, so because probably if Kems never or somebody. So now this is how me I look upon it, Kems, basically clearing up what me I say. So basically, remember that it have something to do with she reporting something, right?
Mm-hmm.
It have something to do with the lady that him engaged with reporting something. The fact that them are questioning like what Kim said, them know. It's like them know, brother.
It's a matter of fact, questioning formality, yeah.
And them never, and I doubt when somebody in a organization or workplace asks you something, Pioneer. I never know nobody. We work with a lot of people who do them thing then. We never know nobody we admit to that doing that. No. It's always a lie. That is one of the lies we have always tell, brother. Like, that's just the code.
And you are saying now, Chris, that based on whatever action you say him do, like whatever you say now, him agitate or aggravate the situation.
Yeah. So basically, if she never report the situation would have ride until it ride. Okay, it's just that him aggravate she and she report it. And that you basically it does look that way to me.
It will continue to be speculation or people insinuating about something happening without any hard evidence.
But obviously people in the know in a Pioneer because the players know. So that's why people like Perkins and Stephen A. Them know players in the locker room. So them are gonna know. And I know how it go, Pioneer. You work at workplace basically. You man can pick up on things. You see it. And the next man come to you and say, yeah man, this are going from 2 years now, it's going and the next man there workplace and say 2 years. So I saw it go. You just have to basically aware of your surrounding and things. But it's unfortunate film. I don't think I'm last gig this. I think even if Celtics fire him, I don't think that's something big, brother. Like, I think if a man career done over this, the world is in trouble. Somewhere down your line. If the man career get done because of a situation like this, the world is in trouble, Pioneer. Because while him violate protocols, and then nothing where you can't look past after I'm doing suspension or whatever.
Considering that the man is a first class coach, would have taken a team as a first time head coach, taking a team to the NBA finals. And as I said a while ago, being up 2-1 at the finals, and a lot of person had them winning. So if a man can do that in his first stint as an NBA coach, I think him definitely. Unless he was charged with some child molestation or some egregious crime.
Yeah, I don't know like that. So I can't see this being him last game.
Well,
and I think Celtics are look to see how this play out, because obviously if the coach don't do good, more pressure are gonna be on them to get back the coach. And I love for know.
Hold on, Chris. That's how I disagree. I can't see him returning to the Celtics.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah, tell me a little strange.
Not Pioneer. I'm gonna show you something. Let me give you an example. If we hear something about you come out in the streets right now, at least one person, whether it be G-Star, Chris Lynch, Manningsman, at least one person will stand up and say, no, that is not true about Pioneer. Or even though Pioneer did that, he's still a great man, etc., etc.
Not stick up in what scams. Within the organization, you will have people who, for whatever reason, are afraid, maybe based on not wanting to offend or go against the power base. Might be afraid to kind of stick up their neck and stick out for him.
I think that's what it is. I personally think that's what it is.
Maybe what I'm doing is might look a little slack or a little dirty or a little demeaning.
Okay.
On the surface, so persons might not want to stick them neck out, even though behind closed doors, they might say, them could have overlooked that or something. You understand me? I say, so.
No, Pioneer, listen. Pioneer, listen. If at least the superstar of the team, Jason Tatum, that man, them now do nothing to that man. At least I would want my superstar, my max player for come out and say, hey, you know, you know,
It's
whatever
good.
he did,
But
obviously
you don't get the feelings that JC Tatum is that kind of person. If it was more a brush kind of person like a Draymond Green then, or a LeBron James,
listen. All
you
right,
feel
so
like
Marcus Smart. Okay,
yeah,
let me show you. So
yeah,
Marcus Smart came out. They asked Marcus Smart about it. You know what Marcus Smart said?
yeah.
And I'm paraphrasing. Marcus Smart said, "Hey, you know, he was my basketball coach. I respect him as a coach. I have nothing else to say on the matter." Again,
Gentlemen, let we go wait for more information. All
no,
right.
but Pioneer, we can wait for more information. But again, we're not idiot. We can pick sense out of nonsense. Like there must be somebody out there who are willing to say, hey, this man is a great man. I love working with him. I can't wait to work with him again. Not even one person. No man, Pioneer man. Something all right. Something all right if not even one person can come out and say something.
Chris, give me your views on the Draymond Jordan Poole situation, and do you think the Warriors handled it well? And tell me if you think this could affect the fortunes of the Warriors going forward.
Yeah, obviously the first obvious thing is the Warriors didn't handle it well. The video leak. Had the video not leak, then all of this wouldn't be in the media, and that would have just be family matter, and it gets solved. But the video leak, I would say what took place, and that is why it's so big of an issue. Because obviously, Draymond went out of pocket. I just can't come to terms our experience, our experienced player like Draymond get entangled in that. Like, remember that Poole is a newbie, you know. Like, and Draymond look like him like talk about brotherhood and stand up for NBA players, whether they're on his team or not. So really, I just don't know. It surprised me that someone of Draymond, whether it's on the court antics while he's in playoffs and all of that. This is a different situation, Pioneer. We know so we have different tolerant level, like in terms of when we play sports, it's different from when we are defend we own or when we get mad at a family or something like that. It's just a different type of thing. So while him on the court and him show them behavior there, but the man look like him hot-headed all the time, brother. When he come off like this, basically just wrong move from Draymond. And it don't look like it got trouble this season because Poole look like him getting money. The money are going to solve all of the problem. I say it for some time, money can solve problem. And it look like the money going to solve this problem. Him get the money, him get him bag.
Money and winnings fix all issues.
Yeah, man, him get him bag, and Steph have a role for play. It look like Steph would have been a good mediator, and it look like Steph basically knows him have to take it up and do that. And them are go basically it are go work out. I don't think it will affect the Warriors season because the Warriors just have no type of environment where them play happy. And it don't even look, it probably if it was a next team like the Lakers and Westbrook with somebody something or something, I really think it would have been worse. But not in a Warriors environment. I really think is a no matter at the moment. Won't affect the season.
What I'll say, Chris Lynch, is that Mr. Pioneer and the rest of the Warriors wagonists, when they don't win and they're struggling, I guarantee you this will be their ammunition as to why it is not happening. I guarantee you that.
I was just hold on a stick up in, Ken. I was just about to say. For me, I'm gonna use the first 15 games of the season. For me, will determine how I view this situation. I think, and this will speak a lot to the character of Jordan Poole. We know him for deal with the banter and the mouthing from when he goes into from other players and other thing, and especially when he goes into other arenas, so the crowd are go heckle him with that whole thing. You might have banners or signs that say something regarding that. So a lot will be determined by how he responds, how he take it, how he absorb it. If he makes these things affect him in any way negatively, if he can deal with it, I think the Warriors should be just fine. I am more thinking the fortunes of the Warriors will be turned. I think even though we made two good acquisitions in the off season, I think based on what we lost, I think our pickings was a little thin when compared to what was happening with other teams, the moves that other teams made. made in the off season. It is, I think, the organization is more thinking that they will be depending on the maturity or the coming to the fore of the youngsters like the James Wisemans and the well, Poole has come to the party. Wiseman, Kaminga, and what's the other rookie? Moody. They will determine. I think that a lot will be. They will be depending on those players having one season under their belt. In the case of Wiseman, being in his third season, didn't play much last season. They will be depending on them coming to the fore to fill these gaps that have been left by the persons that have left. But the Warriors should be fine. Now, Kim, since you take me on that, I'm going to ask you about your Lakers, my brethren. Because if you notice, and that Kim, if you look, it's not Kim's and the man name, my brethren. The guy is not. No, what was that name me always go by? The Truth?
The Voice.
The Voice.
It's not the Voice, and it's not Kim's, The man is now LeBron. See, so Kim's, tell me how you, based on what the business that your Lakers did. We have AD coming back. We have the return of Russell Westbrook, even after all of the talk of him being traded out of the Lakers want to move off him.
The trading deadline not passed yet. The trading deadline not passed yet.
All right, but I don't think much any business will be done. The acquisition of Patrick Beverly, the additions of some of the pieces, they took what's his name from the Warriors. I could see him being given a lot of.
Him not play.
He played a bit. He has been playing in the preseason. Man. He played a bit.
Yeah, everybody playing at the preseason, boss.
All right, so tell me how you see the fortunes of your Los Angeles Lakers. How far do you see them going? Are they a credible title threat for the title?
So this is what I'll say, Pioneer. In all seriousness, where the Lakers go, it doesn't matter who they acquire. If Anthony Davis is unable to stay healthy, them could acquire the moon and the stars. They ain't going anywhere. That man has to be able to stay healthy. That man has to be the cornerstone of the team, right? Mm-hmm. He has to be that, right? In terms of, I still believe Westbrook will be traded again. The body, in coming, his words is saying something different than what his body is saying. In coming to the season, preseason, the team are huddle him over this on one side. Patrick Beverly are calling a huddle up. If LeBron is in there and AD is in there, get your ass in there too. Why you not in there? You're not achieving nothing. Get your ass in there.
Hold on, time out, Kems. He said that they cut the video and garbage like that still, You never hear that one then?
No. Again, them cut the video as well when they have the pre-game warm-ups too. No. So again, Pioneer, to be honest with you, I just think it's going to be one of those seasons where we're celebrating individual achievements, like LeBron breaking the scoring record and being number one. I think that will be something but I think the Lakers will make the playoffs. I'm not writing them off until the trade deadline. Let us see if they can get in a Miles Turner. I'm still not a big fan of Buddy Hield or whatever. But if they can get in a Miles Turner or somebody else who can score the basketball, Kendrick Nunn look good in preseason. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I don't know much about Darvin Ham as a coach. I know him as an assistant.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I don't know much about him as a head coach, but again, he seems like a leader of men. LeBron respect him, AD respect him. Once you have those two guys that buy in, I think everybody else will buy in as well. Pat Beverly. He's a I'm tell about Pat Beverly. What I'll say about Pat Beverly, not the most talented guy, but he's a guy we have character, a guy we have heart, and a guy who will give you 100% each night. Right? You need those kind of players on the team. Right? Again, I'm not going to say it's going to be equal to a championship, but it will be equal to effort. One of the greatest things that I didn't see from the Lakers last season was effort.
Give me the ceiling on the floor for the Lakers.
All right. The ceiling for the Lakers, to me, let's say the team is as constructed as it is. No trades, no nothing. Right now, number 5 in the West, second round, conference finals. That's the ceiling. We'll see what happens there. So.
Chris,
the floor.
The
floor, the same place where them finished up last season.
14th.
Out the playoffs.
Chris, you agree with anything that Kevin said, Chris?
Uh Russell Westbrook, yeah man. Russell Westbrook is a big part of what got happening in the season. Because you just can't have a player where don't accept him role. Like you know what that player. It's either the Lakers better without Westbrook. If them wave Westbrook right now, the team better without his energy in the locker room right now. It's a better team without Westbrook because it's either him gonna accept him off the bench role or him gonna get traded. And the Lakers are take too long. Like I just think say they might play with LeBron, they might play with LeBron, they might play with a title basically. Because Buddy Hill, Miles Turner, you must take that and run. You just must take that and run and see where it take you.
But
Especially
if you
when
had two
Ken,
first round picks for that Chris Lynch, remember they
yeah, you
want two
must give
first
them
round
where
picks
them
for
want
that
and
Chris Lynch.
run with that. Buddy
Yeah,
Hill are one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, you know, brother.
You don't play no defense though.
Yeah, but you give and take with players like that though. Although you look for 3 and D, you give and take with players like that. So this is where Kems have a point now when him say AD have to be healthy. That is a next strong point.
I asked you,
AD has,
I asked you the same question.
has to be healthy.
I asked you the same
But
question.
that's why a Miles Turner would have been great in case a player like AD have to go down like we know him a go
No,
do.
no, no,
It's
no,
just
no, no. I'm
when.
not getting into
All right,
no Chris Lynch. I'm not getting into that.
G-Star, hold on. I'm going to say this. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. They made a very interesting pickup, you know. I think that this is where them probably thinks, you know, they got Damian Jones, who may have a lot of time for Brendan. Farmer Warriors
Warrior.
rookie, when was playing at the Kings, may have a lot of time for him. Nice center. I was disappointed that the Warriors did make him leave. Nice center over the time. I noticed he has developed a 3-point shot. Nice outside shooting. I figure say them feel say if them have a Damian Jones, them you know he plays similar to a Miles Turner, not the kind of defender and the shot blocker that Miles Turner is, but decent defender, decent at shot blocking. Nice big man to have. I don't know if that has influenced them decision not to go for that trade. I'm going to ask you the same question though, Chris. Based on the roster as it is presently constituted, give me the ceiling for the Lakers and give me what you think of the floor. And G-Star, I'm going to ask you the same question when you come in.
Based on how the roster is set up, the ceiling is a player. The energy of Russell Westbrook won't work. If him get traded between now and any time of the season, the ceiling is straight to the conference finals.
All right. The floor. Can you see a situation? I may ask you, can you see a situation where, let's say, West Anthony Davis stays fairly healthy throughout the season? LeBron is healthy. Westbrook is playing. Can you see a situation where they don't make the playoff? Or they don't come out, they don't make the playoff any at all this season? Miss it again.
No, I can't see that because some of the teams that would have like Utah. Utah shouldn't be a contender to go to the playoffs this season. So
Oh, yeah, teams that rise doing it, Chris.
yeah, I have teams who are rise, but a team like Utah when it's a strong last year and all of that,
yeah.
I can't see them, and I can't see some of the teams if AD healthy, take Lakers out of top. Not even the play-in. I don't think Lakers should be in the play-in if AD plays healthy, LeBron healthy. Think them go straight top 5 in the conference.
Should be in the top 6. G-Star. Give me G-Star quickly. You know the Lakers is a topical discussion, people. You know anything that LeBron James plays for, you know they're gonna always come up for discussion. So G-Star, give me your ceiling and your floor for the Lakers.
Yeah, man. There are 9 proper teams in the NBA Western Conference. So one decent team not gonna make it. Either Dallas or Phoenix or LA or New Orleans, and one of those squads not gonna make it, right? Obviously AD needs to be healthy. That's the first thing. Without AD, without LeBron being healthy, you can't forget about the season. But I think these guys have it right in terms of the floor. We know the floor is not making the playoffs. The ceiling, I would say that the ceiling is about our conference finals. But I want to say one thing though. I hear the thing about Westbrook, and you know I'm one of those who criticize Russell Westbrook still. But one thing I can say is they're bringing him off of the bench apparently, or they're trying to, and maybe they probably will with this little injury. We'll see tonight. But I think that Darvin Ham's doing the right thing by making Westbrook focus on defense and playing a lesser role, less being more with Russell Westbrook. So I'm interested in seeing that they say a leopard can't change his spots. Will Russell Westbrook actually make the change this season to just be a great teammate? He talks a big game, about being a great teammate, right? But we want to see that on the floor. Is he okay with taking 5 shots, having 8 assists and 8 rebounds? For me, so in other words, if you remember Jason Kidd at the end of his career, that should be Russell Westbrook's blueprint. And I think if the Lakers have that blueprint with Russell Westbrook, LeBron is going to be LeBron, AD is going to be AD. But they need another player to step up, and they need Russell Westbrook not to be Mr. Triple Double, but even if he's Mr. Triple Single, like a Draymond, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 8 points, I think the Lakers can go a far away with that approach.
Interesting. I will feel to mention it that Dennis Schroeder have returned to the Lakers after turning down what many considered a generous offer 2 seasons ago, choosing to walk away. Now he's back playing for veterans minimum, playing for Chris.
Him have a finger surgery. Him out for 4 weeks as well. So
it's gonna be interesting to see when the entire team is healthy, how they who plays the point guard and how Westbrook is used, especially with Schroeder and Patrick Beverly being a part of the squad. Gentlemen,
I must say, Pioneer, just when we get in this, the great part about it is that Westbrook don't look like he's healthy starting the season. That can be something good for the Lakers, because that would have mean that they can really get to test what they really want, how they really want to look and go about them season. If somebody like that, who they are looking forward to come off the bench and not there to disrupt any flow. So if Lakers smart, what they need to do is dismantle the Warriors and have a good start to the season, and hope that Westbrook, when he comes in, he realizes that he has to play his part if it's off the bench, and he would probably adapt to that because he see how good the team is playing, Like when somebody see the flow in our team, then that might change our mindset. So I'm hoping that's what take place tonight going forward, Pioneer.
Well, one more quick thing, Pioneer. Hold on there. One quick thing. Let me just say this. There's a shooter on the Lakers. I can't remember his name. A white guy. I'm not talking about Austin Reeves. I think he's a rookie. And I was very impressed with him. I guess we'll see him tonight. A white guy.
You're talking about Paul Snyder or Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan, you're talking about?
Matt Ryan. Yo, Pioneer. I won't lie. I was impressed with that guy's shooting ability. You get me? So that's the first thing. I want to see what he's going to do, because maybe he can make a difference. And the second thing is the pushback on Chris Lynch. The man called my boy Miles Turner as even a little bit of a substitute for AD. Please don't do that. It's not even close. Not even in the same stratosphere.
You just not like Miles Turner, man. We know a G-Star. Pioneer recommending to your team. I didn't like it.
Interesting days ahead, gentlemen. May I close out by asking both give me some predictions for the games tonight. 2 games on tonight, gentlemen. Chris, give me your predictions. How you see them 2 games going tonight? Warriors hosting the Lakers. You just spoke about the Lakers wanting or needing to start out hot. Give me a prediction for tonight's game, and the Celtics hosting the Sixers. Embiid and Harden giving it another go. Let's see. First full season together. Let's see how that works. Give me your predictions for tonight's games, and
Yeah, man. Expecting the Lakers to start good tonight. Not going to be an easy game. Warriors just coming off a title winning season, so obviously the confidence is up in those youngsters. Especially Wiggins just secure his bag. And like we said earlier, what's his name? Poole secure his bag. And that's the most important thing for those guys. So I can't see Lakers winning, but it's going to be a tight game, I expect. On the other side of the thing, you say Embiid face up with Boston.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think Philly will come out winners, but like I said, it's early season. I mean, early season predictions can go anyway, but I can see Philly winning tonight and probably a blowout.
All right. Jenga folks, this has been first in our series around the NBA. We'll be here, people. We'll be here on a regular basis. I don't want to give you a schedule. We'll be working out a schedule as to days and the times when we'll be having our programs. But we'll definitely be here. We'll be here following all of the happenings, all of the thrills and the spills that will be happening throughout the season, all of the prospective moves, the injuries, the big games. And there will be a lot of those big games throughout the season. We'll be here covering it, commenting on it. It was good of everyone who was with us today for this first episode. I want to give thanks, Chris. Always good to have you, my brother. I respect your views and your opinions when it comes to sports and in particular, particularly basketball. I want to big up and give thanks to G Star, who was with us here for the most part. I want to big up to Kems, who is making a return to around the NBA after a while. I want to say enough respect to my brother National, who joined us briefly. All right, and as we progress, people will be having some of the regular faces. We'll be having people like Preacher, SSP, Steve McGregor will be here with us some days. He's a man who have a great passion for the sport. We'll be having some new faces, people, some basketball enthusiasts, some big names also in basketball circles will be joining us here on I Am Sure Sports and around the NBA. And we'll follow the season as it progresses. Hopefully, we'll have a good NBA season. And we'll have interesting games. For me, and tonight's game, I'm going with, I think the Lakers will want to try and prove something. I'm gonna look and see what kind of mood the Warriors will be in tonight. If I were a gambling man, I'd be picking the Lakers to win tonight, and I'd also be picking Boston to win tonight. I don't think Boston, coming off making the finals last year, it's gonna be a very hot game. That Boston's Philly game. I think Boston will being at home will want to prove something. New coach having a little drama to deal with in the off season. They will be, being at home, they'll want to leave a mark. So I'll be going with the Lakers tonight and Boston to win. Let's see how the games progress. We'll be back here soon, people, to discuss those games and other games that would have transpired by the time we meet here next. It was good of you to have us. I want to say big up to everybody who was in the stream with us. I want to say big up to Demo J9. I want to say big up to Wandan MUFC 45. I want to say big up to people like Larry James. I want to say big up to people like Slablo 14. And to everybody else who was with us here. We give thanks. Spread the word, people. Around the NBA is back. Spread the word. Share the stream with a friend. Like, if you haven't liked the video yet, like the video for those who are on the stream. For those who haven't subscribed to the channel, I keep on saying it, people. I can't say it enough. I Am Sure Sports is the local sporting channel that gives you the most authentic sporting views and analysis. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Subscribe and bring a friend next time you're here. Let them know that we'll be here discussing the happenings in the NBA all season. For I Am Sure Sports and for around the NBA, I am Pioneer. We ask that you have a blessed and wonderful rest of the afternoon and evening. Give thanks. Good for you to have joined us. Blessings.